Hi guys, we're going to do a quick training for the new purchase requisition form. So you're going to go to the eNet like you normally would. You're going to scroll down to purchasing and click on purchasing forms, and you're going to get the list of forms like you normally would. The purchase requisition form used to be a little further up. It's a little further down now, and it's purchase requisition form, and then in parentheses you'll see sole source, time sensitive, and emergency purchase forms included. So the sole source form is no longer in this list, neither is the emergency purchase form. Time sensitive is a new form, but that being said, everything is now all in one in a single form. So you'll click on view, it'll open up in a new window, and you can start filling out the form. Something to note is that you have 20 minutes to fill out the form before it times out. So I recommend having all of your materials on hand. So you can fill this out and you don't have to keep refilling it out and refilling it out. Anyway, so you've got 20 minutes. Make sure you have everything you need on hand, any quotes, any contracts, know where those are so you can upload them. And now we're going to start filling it out. So you're going to select whether it's a PO request, a BPO request, or a request for payment. You'll notice if you select that it's a request for payment and you scroll down to the bottom to the attachments section, it will require that you upload the invoice. So keep that in mind and make sure that if you're requesting payment, you've got that invoice. This is a test form, so I'm going to just go ahead and mark it as a PO request. You're going to go ahead and type in your name and press tab. When you press tab, that's going to automatically fill in your department, your division, and your email. If for whatever reason it doesn't fill in your department or your division, there are select lists, so you can select whatever department or division you are in from those lists. There's a lot of divisions, so that one might take a second to load. Additionally, every purchase requisition form requires an authorized signer. So what you're going to do is you are going to look through the list for someone in your department that's on the list. Or if you already know who it is, you can start typing their name and it will pull them up. And you can do that. Same thing for the emails. You'll start typing and it'll pull it up. As you can see, department head and city manager are not currently required, but based on the selections in the rest of the form, it may require them later. So for contract requirements, you can select either this does not require a contract or it does require a contract, either from the city's legal department or drafted by the vendor. If you select that it needs a contract, if you scroll down to the attachment section, you'll see that it requires you to upload that contract. So make sure you have that on hand if you know that's what you're going to need to select. Again, this is a test form, so I'm going to put that it does not require a contract. Now this question here is new. Is this a capital purchase or capital outlay item? So if you click no, nothing happens. If you click yes, this section pops up and you need to fill this out. Every single one of these is required if it's a capital outlay item. If you have questions on that, feel free to reach out to the purchasing department and they'll help you determine whether it's a capital purchase or capital outlay. So you can fill this out correctly. Again, test form, so I'm just going to select no for now. Now in procurement type, this is where you're going to find that emergency purchase, time sensitive purchase, and sole source form. I'll show you how one of these works. So you're going to click on, let's say, sole source for now, and you'll notice nothing immediately pops up. That's by design. Rather than having you fill out the vendor information multiple times, what it's going to have you do is fill out your vendor information first. So let's go ahead and do that. And then once you fill that out, then the sole source form populates, and then you'll see that it auto fills that vendor information, so you don't have to sit there and do it for you. You'll also notice that we got all of these yellow warnings in all these pop-ups. That will happen when things are required on the form or new rules come into place. So because this is sole source, it requires the department head. You can click on these links up here and it will take you to the section that you need to fill out. So we'd need to fill that out and we need to fill that out in the case of a sole source form. And then you'd have to fill out all this stuff as well. This is not actually a sole source, it's a test. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick something else like a formal bid, which will require the bid number, which you can put in. And by the way, if you click on 3 quotes, it does require the quotes. So make sure that you have those on hand as well if you're going to need them. So let's go back to formal bid. We'll fill this out here. We've got our vendor. And this one's tricky. I normally forget it, but is the address correct? So what you're going to do is if the address is correct, click yes. It will gray out these address fields, and that basically keeps you from accidentally editing the address. Like if you're meaning to type down here in the description, but you're actually up there and you're typing your item description in a different field. Anyway, but if you have selected yes and you notice that the address is not correct, go ahead and click on no. You can make the edits you need to and then re-click yes and it will gray it out again. So going on to purchase details, you need to fill out the quantity, the description, and you'll see that it will require a couple of things, and we get those yellow little warnings here. And you can't buy anything without an account code, so make sure you put that in. And I can't do math unless I have the quantity and the unit cost, so that's required as well. You'll notice that there's only one line there. If you need to add another line, go ahead and click add, and then you can fill that in. If you mistakenly click add and you don't need it, you can click on remove, and you can do it that way. Freight and shipping cost is required, and you'll notice actually that you can trigger certain rules depending on the purchase total. So if we look here, it says if purchase exceeds $5,000, it's expected that a minimum of 3 bids or quotes are obtained. So let's make this quote or this purchase over $5,000. Well, then it requires our quotes and it requires us to fill out vendor 2 and vendor 3 information. If it's over $25,000, it will require the department head name because they're required over $25,000. If we go over $50,000 and do that, then if we scroll up here, it requires the city council approval date. So based on that, you'll get little warnings that will tell you what you need to fill out. So go ahead and fill those out. And once you've done that, it won't yell at you when you go to submit it. And then once you've got everything filled out, you'll just click on submit. You'll be taken to this thank you for submitting page, and you do not have to worry about getting these documents signed. It's going to go straight to purchasing. Purchasing will reach out to you if they have any additional questions about your request, and then they will send it to signing. So rather than you having to print out the purchase requisition form, get that signed, and then print out a sole source or emergency purchase form and then go and get that signed, it's all in one form. So purchasing will just do it for you. They will send it to DocuSign. You'll get it in your email that you need to sign, and then it's completed that way. So all you have to do is end up filling it out on the form. Now, if you have any questions about purchasing procedures, you'll need to reach out to purchasing. So like if it's a capital outlay item, I won't know that. You'll need to reach out to purchasing for that. But if you have any issues or questions about the form itself, you can reach out to me. My extension is 4496, and I'll help you get something worked out. All right. Thanks.